Hello, I'm Russ Heintz. Today I'm going to show you how to use Flexco fasteners to repair your belt, whether it's a longitudinal rip or a puncture in your belt. These are the tools required to do the installation. The first thing we want to do is examine the type of rip we have. Here we have a straight and a jagged longitudinal rip. Choosing the type of fasteners will be based off of the type of rip. For the straight rip, we can utilize the 2-bolt or the 3-bolt type of fastener. And in the jagged rip, we want to utilize the 3-bolt fastener, making sure the 2 bolts are supporting the flap or the weak side of the belt. When laying out the fasteners, we want to make sure that we keep a 4 to 6 inch spacing, depending on the type of material conveyed and the lump size, to create a sift-free application. To punch the holes, use the punch size for the corresponding fastener. Here I'm fortunate enough to have a wood plank supporting the belt for punching. In some scenarios, you may be working underneath the belt from the bottom side. Always make sure you have the rip edges as close together as possible before punching. When placing the plates over the rip, make sure it's centered over the rip before punching. It always helps to use silicone to help keep the punches cool so they don't dull. To put the bottom plate assemblies into your belt, you can do this from the top side or bottom side, depending on what works best in your application. Working from the top or bottom side, place the top plates over the bolts. If needed, you can use a bolt horn for easier insertion. Then place the nuts over the bolts. The Flexco bolts have a piloted end for easier installation of the nuts. Using the corresponding power wrench, we'll go ahead and tighten the nuts. I'm going to start by just tightening the nuts so the plate is flat on the belt, and then I'll come back and give the plates compression into the belt. To break the bolts, use the corresponding bolt breakers for the fastener size selected. Make sure you use short, quick strokes to make it easier to break the bolts. The final step is to peen the excess bolts to prevent the nuts from backing off. If the type of repair is due to a puncture, the 2 we want to size the opening for a replacement patch. After making your patch and inserting it into place, we want to determine the layout of the plates. We want to make sure we put the corners of the patch in first and then fill in the remaining spaces. For the installation of the fasteners, we'll follow the same process we did for the longitudinal rip and a standard bolt solid splice. Following these quick and easy steps, you should now have the confidence to get your belt up and running with minimal downtime.